Hello Floss Tube, it's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Tuesday. It is the 9th of January. And this is Floss Tube video number 79, I believe. Welcome back. It's been a minute or two, maybe 3 or 4 since my last video. I have tried a couple of different times to make one, and it just hasn't worked out for various reasons. So I'm going to try again. We'll see how this goes. I have been having some health issues since, basically since September, and the medicines have not gone well. If you can have a side effect to a medicine, I'm going to have it, and some that aren't normal side effects to medicine. So we are now on our fourth one when I go and pick it up. So hopefully that one might be a little better. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I don't think we need to dwell on that. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. I think I already said that. I'm a little bit scattered, so I'll do the best I can to keep this moving along and to keep my train of thought, which is not easy these days, but I will try. So, how are you? How have the last, well, it was October, November, December, basically 3 months been? I've already told you how mine has been. Christmas was good. The holidays went fine. I started decorating for the holidays in October because I knew it was going to take me a long time to get it done, and it did. I think I finished decorating about the first week of December. And it's not that I did, the whole entire house or anything. It just, I have to do a little and then sit down. So I knew it was going to take a long time, so I started in October. And it's still up now, as you can see. It's still here. And probably is going to be because one of the things that I've been doing while I've been gone is trying to get some of the chaos in the house taken care of. Since Dan started the project, the Butler's Pantry project, he moved a lot of stuff out into the library, which is down that hall and around the corner. And just pretty much kind of dumped it. So for the last year, or almost a year, because he started that in March. Can you believe it's almost a year? Holy moly. He started it in March. You haven't really been able to get into the library. So while I was working on the decorating, I was also working on getting that room cleaned out and usable as a room again, which I did accomplish. Yay me. And my next goal is the basement. Because when we moved the shop a year ago, and yes, we are now on year 2 of the shop at the new location, a lot of stuff came here to the house and down to the basement, and that is where it has stayed. So I am trying to work on that a couple hours a weekend. So we started this past weekend. We can now get down the stairs, and the first area of the basement has been sorted into piles: a toy pile, Christmas pile, home decor pile, miscellaneous pile, trash pile, and giveaway pile. So we got piles, but we have 4 more sections of 3 more sections of the basement to work on, and they, I would guess, are somewhat worse than what we worked on. But we're going to get through it, and I'm looking forward to that. So during this time, I haven't been stitching a whole lot. I do have some stitching to show you, but I did not, due to how I was feeling, I did not stitch for the entire month of December, or no, November. Probably about a week on into December. And then I kicked it into gear, and I've got a couple of finishes to show you. But one of them was two of them. Two of them I started, and well, I fully finished one. No, not fully. That implies that I have it framed or finished, and I don't. But the stitching is fully finished. I started it and finished it. One is I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to rip out the white that I have in it now and up the whiteness factor, because I don't think it's showing well enough. And the other one was the sewing bird that you had seen me stitch on prior to my silence. So I've got that to show you. I've got a couple other pieces that I've worked on a little bit. I have not been antiquing, but I did purchase something off of eBay back in October that I haven't shown you. And then I'll give you a little bit of a shop update. And then you'll probably be sick of me and wish I'd go away again for another 3 months. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I will get through it. I've got, like I said, I've got about 3 videos where I'm 10 minutes in, and I just decided, you know what, this is really boring. I'm not gonna put these people through this. So we'll see. I'm trying to be a little upbeat, and hopefully I'll be able to entertain you some. So where should I start? I guess I'll start with my finishes, and let me drag them over here. So the first finish I had was the sewing bird from Teresa Kogut. I think this is, hold on, it's the Sewing Tomato Stitchy Bird number 2 from Teresa Kogut, and it looks like that. My lovely dogs ate my original. Yeah, we won't get into that. So this is done on 28 count dark chocolate Lugana over, no, 25 count Lugana over 1, using this called for colors. And it is, you know, I can't remember if I showed this or not, so you're seeing it again. So it's small. Now on her chart it says Sewing Tomato up here, and I didn't really want the words on there, so I just kind of stitched a needle in. And I haven't decided what I want to do with this. To me it kind of looks like it would make a wonderful box top, but I haven't felt like going and finding a box, so it's not finished, but the stitching is done. So that was number 1. Number 2 is Dancer from Barbara Anna. I don't know if I have a picture of the cover. I might have deleted it already. And I didn't feel like trying to figure out where I'd stuck the pattern. So it's Barbara Anna, and it's her pattern Dancer on the called for 32 count splash, basalt splash, I think, fabric, stitched over 2 strands of thread. It's all DMC. The only thing I did not do is one of my stitchers was working, well, customers stitchers was working on this at one of our stitchy days, and I've admired the chart ever since it came out. But when I saw it stitched in person, I was like, I have to do this. So I ordered the fabric in because I didn't have the fabric. But she wasn't entirely sure that she wanted, there's supposed to be like a plaque thingy here with the date of 1823 or something like that. And she wasn't entirely sure that she wanted to do that. The date meant nothing to her. And to me, it looks really crowded when you put that in there. I think if you just put 1823, it would be sufficient if you wanted to put that date in there. And that one of my friends did a little sleuthing to find out if that date had any particular meaning, or that year. And I think what she told me was that it was the year that 'Twas the Night Before Christmas was published for the first time. So it does have meaning. It's not just a random year. But I still opted to not put it in. I just think this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I I think it's a cool idea for how I want to finish it, but I've got to either have to find what it is or have Dan build it. We'll see which way I go. But I finished that one, started and finished it in December. It was a fun stitch, and I was getting my stitchy mojo back a little bit. And this was the perfect piece to do that with, because it was larger blocks of color, and it was a cute design, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And then the third one is not completely finished. It could be, but it's from With a Needle and Threads Love Notes. Love Notes. I think that's the name of the booklet. It's a Valentine's Day booklet. Several charts in it. This one only took me 3 nights to do because I'm a slow stitcher. But I am debating I changed the called for red to, I think it's Lancaster red, but this was the called for white. And I'm thinking there's supposed to be another X and O. I'm thinking I'm going to rip that out and up the white to maybe, this was 3865, so the winter white, and I think maybe white or B5200 is going to show up a little bit better. And I think I would be happier that way. So I've got the second one that I'm going to do in the Q-snap. I haven't started it yet, but so that won't take me but an evening to rip that out and put them back in. So when I put out the Valentine's and what did I put out? I had Melanie put out Winter, Valentine's Day, St. Patty's Day. It's not a whole lot of St. Patty's Day, but I had her put those charts out last week, and I don't have any Valentine's Day models at all. Oh, I had her put Easter out too, because it's early this year. So I have no Valentine's Day models in the shop at all. So I thought, well, I seem to be able to finish some small ones right now, so I'll just work on some smalls and do 3 of those from the book. And then I saw that she's releasing a new couple of charts for Valentine's Day, and I don't know, maybe I'll have to add that one of those in to the mix. So those are the finishes that I've done. For the whips, I have my peacock. Let's see, do I have that picture? peacock from Antique Needlework Designs. I've got my peacock and I'm working on the tail, which that tail goes on forever. I thought I had more done on it. I don't. I don't have more done on it. So, but that's what she's looking like. He? I don't know. So I've got kind of all this area done. Not a ton, but I always say some is better than none, and I'll take it. I've been enjoying working on it. You know, I love green, so it's not a hardship. I think the worst part is when you leave something like this for a period of time. Finding your way back into it, and oh hey, where did I stop? Where do I start? Even though I have it somewhat colored off in, you know, I use what do I use? Notes Writer. What is it? Notes Writer Pro program for most of my stitching anymore. Sometimes I forget to color it off, and so then you're stitching along and you're like, wait a minute, that's not colored off, but yet there's something in that spot. So then you think you've made a mistake, and then you figure out that no, it wasn't really a mistake. You just didn't color off on the pattern. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get into the flow of stitching on again. So I want to try to work on this at least a couple of times a week. You know me and plans. They don't really work for me. Watching all these floss tubers, and they're making their plans for the year, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this many stitches on this and that many stitches on that, and I'm like, more power to you, girl, but that would not, no. That would last about a day, and then I'd be back to what strikes my fancy tonight. But I am going to try and keep working on that one. I would like to get it finished this year, but I said that last year too. So, you know, if I could get that tail done, there's still a lot left to do. Who am I kidding? If I got that, so I've got this, and I've got the upper part, and I was going to say, well, if I could get that tail done, I'd, you know, be almost done. But no, I think I have some of this up here done. There's still all of that to do. So no, I'm not almost done. I was just in my head, I was almost done. It's a funny place up there. Okay, so today, last night during Zoom, I worked on the Noel sampler. Yeah, during Zoom, I worked on the Noel sampler. This was one of the options. My friends and I, well, some of my friends and I, are doing a Choose My Whip challenge. So we each had to choose 3 of our whips that we wanted to finish. And then the rest of the group got to vote on which one you have to work on. Just 1 hour a week. I didn't want to overwhelm myself or anyone else, because I do have a couple of friends who are more monogamous than the rest of us, and so whenever I do this kind of whip thing, it stresses them out greatly. So I figured maybe just 1 hour a week would be, you know, if you want to work on it longer, be my guest, but 1 hour a week on whichever one the group votes on. This was one of the ones that I had in the 3 choices. This is not the one that they chose, though. But this is the Noel sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. I am doing it on, I think it was Color and Cotton Patina, I have seen patina since this batch of patina, and it really doesn't look the same, but there are other fabrics out there. But I just wanted to do it on more of a wintry looking fabric. So I got, what did I get done last night? I got the F and G done. So I got F and G done. I brought these 2 rows of white over to this point. I still got to carry it the rest of the way, but I would have had to move my key snap, and I didn't want to do that. And I carried this over also. So we ended Zoom early last night because Donna, who was hosting, my friend Donna, you know her, she was hosting the Zoom last night, and she had received 2 vaccinations yesterday. Her arm was sore and it was kicking her butt a little bit. So, we were all like, we can end early. So we only stitched for about an hour, and then I stitched for a little while after that, and then I was tired. So staying awake in the evening is not easy anymore. So I finished up and got ready for bed. This third one that I'm going to show you that I've worked on, I think I've worked on a couple of other things, but at this point I don't know what they were, so we're just going to say I didn't. This was one of the 3 choices. The other one was a Scarlet House alphabet pumpkin or something like that. I didn't bring it to show you. But I just have the black. Oh, excuse me. I just have the black and white picture of the chart, as it was a download when I bought it, and I didn't want to use the ink to do. So that's Mary Amelia's Bird from the Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This is the one that they voted on that I should finish, which I was glad, because if you look at my piece and you look at the picture, pretty much I just have this, and then I'll be done. So it's not going to take me forever, and I will have a finish, and I will have fulfilled the terms of the challenge, which was to stitch on the one that was chosen. I may go ahead, because all these other wackadoodles they chose big huge projects that are going to take them forever at an hour a week, and I was not going to do that. I wanted to feel like I was actually had a chance to finish it. So I chose things that were closer to being done and were smaller. I told them to choose wisely. They did not listen. So they chose Long Dogs and Rosewood Manors and, big, huge projects. But so what I might do is take the 2 that they didn't choose and add a third one to it and do another round of it, because there are quite a few I have that are close to being done. But I don't know. Haven't decided for sure yet. So anyway, this is my bird. And what I got done I stitched a little bit over an hour because I was watching Crime Weekly on YouTube. And so I just watched the whole episode. So all of this pink that you're seeing in here, not this, I had that part done, but all of that pink I got finished, and a little bit of this red, a couple of spots of the red, whilst I was watching that episode. So, like I said, I probably will be able to finish this without crapping out on it, which makes me very happy. So that's it for stitching for the last 3 months. Like I said, most nights I would just sit there and I'd think about stitching, and I just didn't. So, I guess now I'm just going to visit with you a little bit, if that's okay with you. Talk about the shop a little bit. What do I want to start with? Well, market is coming up. My hair is getting long, can you tell? I've not had bangs this long probably since I was in high school. And then they had, it was down the middle and on both sides. They're kind of driving me nuts. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this. But I wanted to try something different. So market. Market is coming up first weekend in March. I am planning to go. I think Rosie, Doreen, and Lori are going to go with me again. We have asked Connie to go. Her initial reaction was no, her knees would never do it. I said she could stay in the room and work on putting things in the computer and checking the invoices for mistakes, because there's always mistakes. And she said no, because she would want to be out and about seeing all the new stuff. So she said she'd see as it got closer how her knees were doing. And I'm fine with that. So I will be taking pre-orders. I'll be posting, excuse me, tickle. Gotta take a drink. In my Stanley mug. I didn't realize that Stanley was a thing. Did you? Apparently, kids are being bullied in school if they don't have a Stanley mug. I find that ridiculous. I think schools should say clear plastic jug and that's it. It's ridiculous. Some people can't afford. They're so expensive. Some people can't. Now this one I bought, it was not. I think it was $20. But I don't think you can touch them for that anymore. It's ridiculous. So that's just a side note on my part, because my granddaughters both got a Stanley mug for taking to school, and I was like, serious? What about the kids that can't afford those? So listen to me, schools. Make it a clear plastic water bottle. It'll be just fine. All right, back to market. Sneak peeks probably won't start coming out until closer to the end of January, first part of February. I will be taking pre-orders. I will be putting sneak peek pictures on the website. What I have found the last 2 years, I have not put them on Facebook. And I think my orders were less because of that, my pre-orders. So I'll probably post some on Facebook also, but really truly it would be nice if people would just go to the website and click on the Nashville and all the stuff would be there. But I am taking pre-orders. If you do make a pre-order with me, I do expect you to follow through with the sale. My pockets are not deep. So, when I get stuck with things that I may or may not have picked up, it does hurt a small business. So you are expected to follow through with the transaction in a timely fashion. What else can I say about that at this point? That's probably pretty much. I'm not going to be bringing everything. I'm not going to buy every single thing that's released at market. So if you want it, you should pre-order it. And that would go for, I'm pretty sure, almost every other shop out there. If you see something you like and you think you want it, you should probably pre-order it from whomever, whether it's your LNS or, you know, someone online. It helps us to figure out how we're going to spend our money, because most of us do not, I would say with a couple of exceptions, most of us do not have an unlimited amount of money to spend. So help your LNS out and pre-order. I don't know. Maybe you can answer this in the comments. I would appreciate your input on this. Usually when the pictures start coming out, there are these little stupid tiny snippets that I think are a waste of everybody's time. Do you want to see those snippets? Or would you prefer to wait until you can see the whole picture? I know sometimes the whole picture is never ever released before market. But a large portion of them, the full picture is released. It's just closer to the time. So let me know, do you like seeing the little snippets, or do you prefer to wait and see, you know, the bigger picture? I would be very interested to know your feelings on that. So please leave that comment below. And that's, I think, all I'm going to say about market for this time. Let's see. We're having a Biscornu finishing class in June. So quite a few of the stitchers have been working on stitching up a Biscornu. Which is, you know, I'm supposed to be joining them in that endeavor, but the Biscornu that I want keeps getting, I don't know, back ordered. It's not in stock. It's a little bit frustrating. When you order it the first week, it shows up on a distributor's page, and then you get back ordered, back ordered, back ordered. Please reorder, please reorder, please reorder. It's frustrating. So I haven't received my pattern yet. I may, you know, I've got until June, but we get too much further into the year, and I might as well not even bother, because I'll never get it done. It had quite a bit of stitching on it. We're also trying to see, I have a list going at the shop of people who would like to take an over, how to stitch on linen or even weave. So an over 2 stitching class. I would like to have between 7 and 10 people who are interested in doing that class. It's an in-person class, so you'd have to be local. When I get enough people interested, we'll pick a date. I've got a teacher lined up, but I got to make it worth her while. So, like I said, I'd prefer to have 7 to 10 people at a minimum. So if you're interested and you're local and you would like to learn how to stitch on even weave linen, because the technique is the same, send me an email, give me a call, ask to be put on the list, and as soon as I get to 7, I will set a date for that class. I kind of looked up on other places, and I see that most of them are no longer offering classes due to lack of interest. So we'll see how this goes. If I can't get that to that 7, we probably won't do it. Also starting sometime next week, or sometime this week, hopefully by Saturday, because we're having Saturday stitching Saturday. It's going to be frigid out, but hopefully people will come out. I have a trunk show from Wrinkled Fabrics. She's a new to me dyer of fabric. I've received the first box of fabric on Friday, and I believe the second box arrived yesterday, but I was closed. So I had Stacy go ahead and put it inside the shop for me. But I'll have to get it all ready to go. So it'll probably be available, I'm going to say by Saturday. It might be available by Friday, but since I'm not at work today, we're gonna say by Saturday it'll be available for your viewing pleasure and purchasing pleasure. And then in May, the first, I think I have it like through the 12th. So the 1st through the 12th of May. Yeah. Heart and Hand Trunk Show. I'll talk more about that later and verify the dates, but I think it's the 1st through the 12th. I think I have to have it back to her the 17th, and I'm figuring 5 days for shipping. So we've got quite a few things coming up at the shop for the first half of the year. Like I said earlier, this is year number 2 at the new location. I'm still getting people having difficulty finding the shop. That office building is throwing them off, I tell you. There is a monument sign outside, but they put it in what I would consider not the best location. I would have put it kind of in the middle of the building, and they put it to the south end of the building, which makes it difficult, in my opinion, to see. Not the best place, but a lot of times it's the lawyer. There are lawyers' names on the one corner of the building, and people assume that building is just the lawyers, and it's not. There's all kinds of businesses in there. I'm the only retail business in there, but there are all other kinds of businesses in the building. So should your GPS take you to a red brick building with lawyers' names on the outside, you're in the right place. It's not difficult to find. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Look for the 2 auto parts stores and turn in between them. Go up the hill, and it's on your left. It's not too far off the Highway 75, Highway 370. So give it a try. Let's see. So that's probably the first half of the year, what we're going to have going on. It's really difficult anymore to book anything because most people are booked, 2026 already. And this is just the beginning of 2024. And I could be dead by then, who knows? So we'll see what the second half brings us. I'll see what I can dig up for while we're at market. See if I can find anything interesting to do or have in the shop or whatever. And then I wanted to give and I don't have a package of them, so I can't show you the packaging. But pony needles. It's a new brand of, well, it's new to me. I'm sure some of you have been using them for quite some time. But I have not used them before, and I thought I would talk a little bit about them. Somewhere I have a pony needle. The ones I have are nickel free. What did I do with it? They're black, and then the eye part is white. It's stuck to the ring over here on the magnets. Okay. I don't know, are you going to be able to... Let's see. I don't know. Can you see that? There. So the bottom half is black. The eye is white. it does help to see it. Now I have found, and I know that it's true for all needles. There's usually a right side and a front side and a back side of the needle. So one side is supposed to be easier to thread than the other. I have never had a problem threading needles from either side. This one, I have noticed that it tends to be easier in one way than the other. But when I talked to some of the other gals that are using them, they didn't seem to have the same issue. So it could just be a me thing. Like I said, it's nickel free, so those of us who have allergies, that is good. I usually eat through the finish on needles. Like John James, I can't use John James because I just eat right through the finish. So I'm going through needles like weekly. So I wanted to try these out and see how the finish held up. And it did well. The white part is starting to wear away a little bit. Again, I asked the other stitchers whether they were having that same issue because I didn't know if it was my body chemistry eating away at it or if that was just a normal process. I used it to stitch Dancer. So not a huge piece, not stuck in a bag for long periods of time because I started and finished it in the same month. But mine is starting to wear away the white, and the other gals that I talked to said yes, that they get a little bit of wear around the eye. I don't know that it's a big deal. It's black underneath, so it's whatever the rest of the needle is made of. But I enjoyed using it. It went through the fabric fine. Their size 28s are really, really short. Now this is a 26. And it's, I don't know, a little bit longer than the first joint of my finger. So I don't know how. So it's not a real long needle, but the 28s are very, very short. So if you liked the John James Petites, and they're not making those anymore, you might like the size 28s in the pony needles. I am carrying them at the shop. So give them a try if you want to try them. I said I didn't have any issues with them, that major issues anyway. So I would give them a thumbs up. And let's see, what else? I think that's just about all I have. Family's doing well. Dogs are doing well. I had 5 dogs here between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Well, I had 6 on New Year's Eve. We actually had our Christmas New Year's Eve because Abby and Travis couldn't make it into town Christmas Day. Because we had a little weather, and they live out in the country, and it was blowing around, and it was real icy out their way, so they couldn't make it in. So we didn't have Christmas until New Year's Eve, and at that point, then Alex and Emily were back from they'd gone to Michigan for Christmas with Emily's family, which is why I had their 2 dogs. It was too many dogs. 5 dogs is, I love dogs. I do. And at one point, I would have had 5 dogs. I would have been crazy, but I would have had 5 dogs. I would not now. That's just too many different bodies under your feet. And basically we only have, because of the butler's pantry that Dan's working on, and because the library was basically not usable, we only had like these two rooms, the living room and kitchen. So it was too much for these two rooms. It would be better when the pantry is done and, you know, people could go sit at the island in there, or the dogs had that. They like to stand. We've got a window out in there in what used to be the dining room that goes all the way to the floor. And they like to stand in that and, you know, bark at the interlopers who are walking on their sidewalk. But it was a bit much on New Year's Eve with 6 dogs, and we ended up 8 adults and 4 kids. So it was locked. It was, and I think they're going again on a trip, Alex and Emily, in March or April, sometime in there. So I'm probably going to have them again, I would guess. The butler's pantry is coming along. It's not done. People keep asking me, so is that done? And no, it's not done. He's working on it. He works on it pretty much every night that he's home, but he teaches 2 nights a week, so a lot of times he's not home in the evening. But it is coming along, and I'm not rushing him because I want it to be done well and not half-assed. So I picked the paint color for the cabinets. He's painted part of the cabinet, one of the cabinets. It's perfect. I love the color. It was exactly what I wanted. Did take me a few samples to figure it out, and even then I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one, but I wasn't sure until we actually got it on the cabinet and I could see the color. It's perfect. So it's coming along. It's still gonna be a while, but he is working on it. Let's see, what else do I know? I think that's about it. I did take some pictures. I kind of revamped my Christmas decor this year. I added in some blush pink in these 2 rooms. And I took some pictures of that. So I might put those at the end, just so you can see. Plus it gives me some place to put the pictures, so next year I can remember what I did, because part of the reason it took so long this year was because I revamped a little bit. I didn't know what I was going to use and what I wasn't going to use, and still didn't find. I have one box that I could not locate. I don't know where it went. But I might pop those at the end. If you're interested, you can hang around until then to look at them. Otherwise, I'll probably remember some more stuff when I hit the end button. And of course, I did exactly what I said I would. I remembered something as soon as I hit the stop button. I was going to show you the one item that I purchased off of eBay. Connie and I were trolling eBay together. I mean, she was at her house and I was at my house, but we were on the phone, and we were both on eBay looking at things. And I was looking at flower frogs and ran across this one that I thought was really cool, but it was also pretty expensive, and I wasn't willing to pay that price. And Connie thought it was really cool too, and then the competitive side of me kicked in, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to send the guy an offer because it said, you know, make offer. So I sent the guy an offer, or the girl, I can't remember now which it was. I sent her what I thought was a pretty low offer. I think it was $20 less. And they accepted it. So then I had to confess to Connie that I'd gone ahead and made an offer on it. Because, you know, we have that first to see it gets first dibs kind of thing. I had seen it prior to her seeing it, but I'd glossed over it because of the price. But I still felt kind of bad, because I didn't tell her I was going to make the offer until after I made the offer and it was accepted. She didn't seem to have a problem with it. So anyway, it came and it's amazing. Well, I think it's amazing. And it included the actual frog, you know, the glass frog, and then the base that goes with it. So look at it. It's a frog. So it's a silver plate. Heavy. I mean, the thing weighs a ton. Has the flower frog in it. And then I just put some of my fancy silver scissors in there for display purposes. But look at that face. Ribbit. I think it's adorable. And I said I'd share it with you, and then I promptly forgot about it. So I'll have to add this into the video. Hope you like it. Bye. I think I'm going to call it good. It's almost an hour long, which isn't too bad. I must have talked really fast. Nerves. You know, I haven't done it so long. I'm kind of out of practice. I'll try and be better, but no guarantees. I don't know what this new medicine will do. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna let you go. There's no point in my rambling on at this juncture. So, and I don't see anything else that I need to talk about. So, I hope your new year is going well. I hope you're getting lots of stitching done. Again, I'm sorry for the absence, and this probably isn't the kind of video you were really missing. I know most of you prefer the other videos that I do with the fabric and the floss. Right now, I don't know if I'll be doing any of those. Hopefully, if I get to feeling better, that will, I can get back into those. But in the meantime, hopefully this will work for you. You take care until next time. And please remember to answer that question I asked. And if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. It does help the channel be seen. And I will see you in the next video. So you take care until then. Bye. So this is our entryway when you first come in the house. That's Sven and Stuart and an as yet named little dude. My lavender and lace Santa of the, is it Santa of the Forest? And my little skinny tree and a gnome that my sister gave me a couple of years ago. This is the powder room. I've got a little wax bear. You know, they used to dip stuffed animals in wax, scented wax. This is a little smoker nutcracker. You can actually put incense in the little, I don't know. This is the hutch in the kitchen. And the only other decoration in the kitchen is just some ornaments in the corner. It's a little antique piece I purchased from Abby's husband's mother. And this is a close-up of the top. That is the Christmas tree this year. I added quite a few pink things this year. This is just kind of a close-up of all the different types of ornaments. And then this next picture has two little birds. I've had those birds for probably 40 years. Still not broken. My spool cabinets, a couple pieces of stitching, my coffee carafe with spools in it. That is the fireplace. We covered it up and hung the TV on the front of it. There's the little church. Usually it lights up, but my battery was dead and I'm out of batteries. My deer. And then coming up next is the packages I bought from Hobby Lobby. That's a Martha Washington sewing cabinet, and then just another piece that I bought at Hobby Lobby years ago. Got my blankets in the corner, little Santa on the floor that lights up. There's another nutcracker. There'll be a close-up of him coming soon. This was done by the same person that did the smoker in the bathroom. And that's a new Santa picture. I needed a pink one and not a red one. It needs a bigger frame though. And finally another piece that I bought from Travis's mother.